Now, before I open and show in detail, first let us look at this menu. It's a very short and sweet menu here. You have My Grammarly, then you have Account, and then you have Apps. So first thing is Account. This is if you want to see what are the existing settings and if you need to customize. So here you will find that username is there, email address, password. In case you want to change your password, you can do that here. And then email preference, where you would like Grammarly to send notifications to. Any new developments that come, you can get instantly notified. Then about you, this you can see a couple of fields here. This is optional. If you have the time and interest, you can fill this up. It will only help Grammarly help understand the user requirement and make better changes for the future. Or you can skip that part. But this is more important, customize. So we recommend all Grammarly users to once come to customize and just check if you're okay with all this. So in customize, you have dictionary, language, writing style, and features. So dictionary, you can have your own personal dictionary. Words can be added which you don't want them to be flagged as a misspelling or an error. Otherwise, your editing process again and again, you'll have to revisit those prompts and you have to work on that. So you can save time and effort here by doing this beforehand. So what are the words that you could add? Now you see here there are some Sanskrit words which I have anglicized. This was when I was working on one of my manuscripts. So I have this here. I know that some of these names may not be found in the regular dictionary. You could also, in your own field, you might come across words which is typically found in your science, technology, or chemistry, or computer, or any those such jargons which you don't find in the regular dictionary. Those also can be added here. Once added, you can also at any time take it off this list. You have the option to delete. So this personal dictionary is there. Then comes language. Now there are some new settings here. In case somebody has not used Grammarly for some time, this is one of the new features. Grammarly has added this setting called primary language. That means if you are a confident English communicator, you can leave this as English. But it happens that sometimes people's native language is quite strong and it can actually come in the way of communicating in English. So if you are facing that challenge, you can come here, look at this options here, see where your native language is, you can select that. So at any time your nativity is influencing your communication, Grammarly will look at that and understand, okay, because of this particular language, you are trying to make this error and this is the right solution. So here, this is a full menu of languages around the globe. In this menu, you will find, Southeast Asian languages, Middle Eastern languages, European, African languages, etc. And if you're looking specifically at Indian languages, let's say Assamese. So somebody who's Assamese can find this native language here. Bangla, Bengali, or Bhojpuri, or Chhattisgarhi, or you have Punjabi, or Haryanvi. You can see it's here. Kashmiri, Urdu, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Odia. Then you have all the South Indian languages also, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada. And apart from that, you have very specific languages also like this. You have Sindhi, you have Marwadi, you have even Sanskrit is there. Right? So whatever your native language is, if you need that extra support, just select that and Grammarly will bridge that gap for you. Then I write in. So what is my submission requirement? Now Grammarly deals only with English communication. What you're going to deal with is only English, but within English, you have choice here. Do you wish to use American, British, Canadian, or Australian English? Whichever one you choose, those conventions will apply. Then Fluency Assistance here, by default it is on. So that will give you that extra support. Writing style. Now here it concerns Grammarly's goal settings. Now you have a lot of filters in place to select from, but basically any document that you feed in to check with Grammarly, Grammarly is going to help you with 4 important things. These are the 4 pillars of Grammarly check: correction, clarity, delivery, and engagement. That means how clear is it, how correct is it, the way it is delivered, and is it engaging your reader. Right? So this is how it is going to support you. Now here in this all categories, you have very specific filters also, which more or less relate to these 4 pillars. So language, dates and times, punctuation, formality, all these things are there. Now in this all categories which is listed here, this entire thing, you can see where most of the settings are on. Say suppose you see one setting off, which is passive voice setting. If I prefer passive voice usage, then I can activate this. Okay, or if I want to deactivate certain settings, I can do that here. So there are some new settings here. As I'm telling you about this, you can see I just saw something on Ukraine here. Yeah, show Ukraine support message. So these are some new settings. Grammarly is very, very dynamic. Sometimes this changes just come unannounced, but it's very fast. The developments are quite good. Now here, the features. So in features, you can see anything that has come as a new feature, it will get showcased here. The latest to come is called Snippets. So before I talk about Snippets, I'll just give a background to this. So you know that Grammarly's premium version for the Academia is called the EDU license. Now there is also the premium version which is used by corporates, which is called Grammarly Business. Now both these features are a lot similar, and some are unique to Grammarly Business, some are unique to EDU. Now amongst the common features, we have this Snippets. Snippets started off in Grammarly Business, and the business users have found it very, very useful. So it's got very good reviews, and people have really declared it as a successful feature, the business users, and Grammarly decided let us introduce this for the EDU users also. So what are snippets? Snippets are preset writing templates. Okay, so preset response templates. If you see sometimes when you use a certain subject, if you create a certain text for that text can be incorporated. If you're writing a report, or mostly people use this in emails. So for example, if you can identify what are those emails which you send out quite regularly, if not daily, at least it's very consistently that you're sending out, and you know that such emails, the body is almost the same, only the key information changes, right? So what could that be? Now, for example, a welcome on board message. So when you welcome somebody, probably the content is almost the same. You will have a certain guideline you incorporate in that. You just change the name of the person who you are welcoming, right? So something like that, welcome on board, or anniversary wishes, or birthday wishes, or condolence message, or follow-up message, payment reminder, or farewell message, or resignation letter. It could be so many things. So what are those snippets? So if you have snippets showcased here, that means you can create one here. Now when you see this create prompt here, you can actually give a title. So if I'm saying anniversary snippet, I can give a title anniversary. I can write the content, leave space for any key information, which I can use it when I recall this snippet in my text. Then when it opens up, the content opens up, I will see key information space. I will just put it that, and then I can send it. So while creating a snippet, do all this and then you can save it. Now for clarity, I will just show you some snippets which I've created for demo purpose. Now for example, follow-up. You can see here anniversary, document sharing, follow-up. If I open this follow-up, so I have the name follow-up here, I have the content here. So I can see wherever if I've left any space, I can put key information and send, maybe dear so-and-so, etc. So once you create a snippet, you save it and then you can recall it. How does this work? So let's show you how it is in action. Now, in this particular example, follow-up snippet is used. Now this is not my snippet, but this is Grammarly's example here. So here Grammarly is showing you, when you open a follow-up snippet, you can see the text here. The content which you created is all there. You just put in the key information, have one round of check, and you can send it. Let's look at it again. While sending an email, you recall a particular snippet title and it opens up. put the key information, check, and then send. Now, no matter how busy you are, how stressed you are, this will ensure that you don't make any embarrassing mistakes. There is a consistent quality, and when you send it out, it is also time saving. Right? So this feature, especially for business users, they have really given a lot of positive reviews for this. So this is something new that has come. Then we have other points here in terms of subscription, who's the provider. In your account, it will show as NIT Kurukshetra. And then security. So this concerns how your data is handled, who's the user, and etc. Which all devices signed into. And here, when I come down, user trust guidelines. So if I just click on this talks about Grammarly's privacy policy. So any queries regarding this, you will find your answers in this page, grammarly.com/trust. You can browse through this when you have the time. Go through it. It's quite comprehensive, and I'll not spend much time here, except that I wish to just draw your attention to this key information here. Now here, as you know, in India, data privacy and all is just, it's a work in progress, and probably we'll see something concrete coming in the near future. But still, Grammarly as such is compliant here with European Union's GDPR regulations, USA CCPA guidelines, and very recently also tied up with HIPAA or HIPAA compliance. There are other frameworks also which Grammarly is following, like Cloud Security Alliance, and then you have ISO. So more such frameworks are there, which is one of the reasons why Grammarly is so trusted and popular worldwide. So if you come down, you have FAQs on this subject. You can see what you're looking for, and if you have any this thing, you can always get your answers here. Okay, so here, grammarly.com/trust. Now we come back to the home page here. So now we will cover the demo part. So how do you access Grammarly? There are two ways of using Grammarly. One, you decide that you want to start an entire project in Grammarly itself. No need to use Google document or Word document. That is the case, you can just start a new project. New can also be used in another way. Suppose you have some content which you want to copy and paste and proofread. Maybe website, maybe blog, maybe some soft copy of a document. You can extract that portion, paste it, and then proofread. Okay, so that purpose also Grammarly is there, useful there. And the more popular option, because people are comfortable working on a Word document and then getting that checked. So if you have a document to upload, just click on upload and select that document. Now I'm going to open a demonstration document, assuming that I have uploaded this document. Now uploading, a query may come here that are there any limitations on what kind of documents can be uploaded? Yes, there is a limitation. As you see that Grammarly is all about checking and editing and all. So your documents have to be in the editable format. Meaning a PDF document, if you try to upload, it will not take it. So you have to ensure that your document is either in one of these formats, .docx, .odt, .rtf or .txt, right? One of these formats. Once you upload, so what will happen is, even before you decide to work on this document, this will pop up. So you have goals here, and you can set your goals and then proceed. So here, what you see are some selected portions. This is the default setting from Grammarly here. For audience, Grammarly has selected knowledgeable, for formality neutral, for domain general. And then you have intent, which is left blank. So these four parameters are there. Now, suppose you have uploaded a document and maybe it's a formal report or it's your academic paper and you want to change this, customize this. So here, audience, formality, domain, you can select only one. Intent, you can go with more than one. Now, my audience could be knowledgeable or expert. Explanations are there, so it will help me decide. Formality, maybe I'll keep it as formal. Domain, academic. Let me select that. Good to go. Now, intent, maybe it is to inform and maybe also to describe, convince, tell a story. So you decide what works and then you click on done. Before you click on done, I'll just direct your attention to these two numbers that you see on this background. So we have 57 as the overall score. And here on top, it looks like 46, all suggestions. So what are these numbers? They are based on the default settings, and the check Grammarly has done based on those default settings, which we saw earlier. Now, if I apply these filters, will anything change? Let's see. I'm clicking on done. There are more filters in place now. You can see the number of suggestions going up. It's more than doubled here, and the score has come down nearly 20 points here. So there are a lot of checks to perform. So for first time users, this is the content that you have uploaded. Okay, so here all these highlighted portions correspond to all the suggestions that Grammarly is saying. And where are these suggestions coming from? What is the basis for this? It's based on the 4 pillars of Grammarly check. Here on the right side: correction, clarity, engagement, delivery. Red, blue, green, purple. Okay. So you'll know from the color highlight that, okay, what is it regarding? Now, there are 2 ways of going about it. You can actually go line by line and do all checks, or you go suggestion basis. You come to any suggestion, see what changes suggested, and then look at the context. Is it making sense? Okay, fine. Let's take it or let's dismiss. In suggestions here, right on top, what you see, this is a new feature. In case somebody has not yet experienced this, there has been some gap while using Grammarly. This is the new feature that has come, called group suggestions. Now, in this group suggestions, you will see Grammarly has made your job very easy. It has picked up certain places where you can directly incorporate the changes in one shot. So it's time saving. It will save you a lot of effort also. There is a catch here, however. Depending on your content, depending on your confidence, sometimes you may get stuck somewhere and say, no, I would prefer to check this separately. I don't want to have it in this list. So you can remove from those lists. So those 2 or 3 which you want to remove, you can remove, and then whatever remains, you can do a group suggestion incorporation here. And the last option, of course, is if you decide to be extra safe, let us dismiss this altogether and do a line by line check. But the feature is available. Now here, when I come to a old grammar problem in red, and very specifically articles a and the or the, so which one to use here? It's saying based on the context here, this is the one. So an old car, click on this, and when you want to accept or even dismiss, there will always be a prompt here. Would you like to undo? It's possible that you may have clicked something by mistake, so you can undo that. It's a short prompt. Similarly, a lot of mileage. Here in purple, so here it's suggesting much will be a better usage. Why? Formality. The way I deliver. Remember, my goal was formal. That is why it's suggesting. So I can take this. And here again, another correction. With apostrophe, without apostrophe, you have options here. Spelling issue. Then this thing in blue, which is about clarity. So here, Grammarly is suggesting to you that you can take this version. If you are satisfied with it, you can rephrase. Or if you feel, no, it's not much of a difference, you can go without this, you can dismiss. Right. So let's look at some other categories also. For example, this entire thing in green. What is green? Green is about engaging your readers. So Grammarly feels that this could be very monotonous, very dry. You can actually rewrite and make it a little more interesting. So here it is only suggesting to you, and you can rewrite and see whether the suggestion is still coming or all looks good. Okay. So if you have some confusion or you don't know what this monotonous means, just click on learn more. Every suggestion will have a proper explanation and or examples to support here. So after going through this description, you will see how a monotonous sentence has been made lively and what kind of an impact you can expect. So it will help you decide better. Now here, long. This thing is in green because in case you are using words that are used a lot, you can bring in some synonyms here. You can correct that. Then again, in terms of overused words, serious can be replaced with critical or grave. We have these options here. And for somebody who's not very confident in English, or it depends on everyone's proficiency. This particular example, if I just show you, not only but also, if I click on this, you can see here, this is the way to be done. Now, why? Because for people, not only but also, always two factors come into play. But in this particular example, you have three factors to consider. You have paperwork, you have sale, you have insurance. So how do you use not only but also at the same time include all the three factors? And Grammarly has given a beautiful explanation here. Tackle one and the other two follow. Then all these simple things which can, somebody might have an oversight on this. So punctuation marks or extra space while typing, or if you're using ellipses, 3 dots, what if you put a 4th dot, typing error? All these checks can be done very quickly. Compound word here, 2 words joined together needs a hyphen. You can take it. So what you will notice is, as and when you take suggestions, your total number of suggestions will come down. Your score will slowly start to pick up. I'll just show you one more here, skeptically. This concerns our writing goal. Now when I come and click on this, Grammarly says that this is a non-British spelling. Now remember, in my goal setting, I used British English as my default. So I'm supposed to be having this spelling. And if you have any confusion, again, you can click on Learn More, and it will give you explanation how it differs from place to place. Yeah. So examples are there, and this will help you take a decision. So you can do these two ways of checking. There is a third approach which I prefer when I work on my manuscripts, which is I come to these categories one by one. That means first let me tackle correction. So I'm in that particular frame of mind. And another thing is, because it is a basic expectation from any writer to ensure these corrections are all in order. Okay. And what happens is, with Grammarly, it's very simple. It's in minutes you can do your correction checks. All you need is to add something, or to reduce something, or to replace something, or to remove something altogether. That's all the combinations possible, and you can see what needs to be done and take it forward. Then once your foundation checks are all done, you can look at the fine-tuning part. So clarity-based checks, let's look at that. Then move to engagement-related ones, and then delivery. So these are the three ways of approaching your checks. Now, once you have done with all your checks, if you want to check for plagiarism, so come down here and just click here. It will then move to the plagiarism mode.